I mean, it'd be easier to have a problem with it if Tem was like a great guy before.
Yeah.
So it's like just seeing like a mediocre guy turn into a different version of a mediocre guy.
I mean, still your dad, though.
Or my dad. Maybe I'd feel something if it was my dad. Like I said, for us, it's just a guy.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Lessons, and we are back with another episode of Mobile Suit Gundam. Lessons got notes.
Yes, I have notes. Just a few of them. We're at episode 33, correct?
Well, we're on 34 now.
34, yeah. First note, this is another episode that starts with another fight with a mobile armor for no seeming reason other than to have some action in the episode. And perhaps sell toys.
They were fixing it? Seemed like the engines were busted or something?
Yeah, or they were testing it somehow.
Well, they were hiding, and then they were doing, like, work on the outside, and then trying to hide from the white base crew they were going by, and it seemed like they didn't want to fight.
Yeah. I mean, that's in universe, but I mean that writing this scene, right? Why do you write a scene where you just have this random encounter with a mobile armor?
I mean, indicating back towards the conversation with McQueeve and Cassilia?
About spending more resources on
all the accelerating all the testing that they're doing in R&D on new mobile armors and mobile suits. Yeah, because I mean, if they don't show it to us, then
I mean, we've seen plenty of. I mean, seen plenty of mobile armors and mobile suits already. So
yeah, well, I mean, this expands the scope.
Yeah, but 2 episodes in a row, starting with a fight with a mobile armor.
2, I mean, 3.
Yeah, 3.
No reason to pull the punches. Might as well go all the way.
So there's that.
Yeah, Big Bro. We got the K-named one, which I can't remember. And Bro.
So actually, that ended the episode with that fight, not started it.
It was shown at the beginning of the episode, though.
Yeah, so oh, this is what happened recently, you know.
Big Bro? I thought Big Bro was shown to us at the beginning of the episode to indicate what was coming.
No, Big Bro. You're talking about the one that has.
Because we had Big Bro at the start of like 3 episodes back, then we had the K-named one as a fight at the start of the last one, and then, sorry, not the last one before last, and this last one we got Big Bro.
Yeah, they're getting confusing.
Well, not confusing, it's just Bro. It's not super alliterative. I mean, it works, but it just bounces off the tongue instead of rolls.
Either way, my second comment. On one hand, this episode shows that the war, even at this stage, is still very complicated. On the other hand, the whole rewrite Cameron subplot, while not badly written, would have worked better earlier in the show, perhaps before White Base makes it to Earth or shortly after. Which is what I was saying is it makes it better to get a handle on who Mirai is or was and what she was doing. Like her decision to no, I'm going to stick with White Base, I think would have been more meaningful. But this time it's like, oh, we're not just gonna have her leave the ship. I mean, everybody who's tried to leave the ship just turns around and comes back again. So
I think the problem with what you're saying is that would apply to a lot of shit. And in which case, we would have been at side 7 for like 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah, maybe.
That we would have to establish everyone's character interrelationships over like the course of 2 episodes, and then the attack happens. Rather than the attack being this shocking thing that starts everything real quick. In fact, no, I was about to compare it to Seed again. Seed pulls the same thing. No, I think I'm happier the way this went down. Maybe only so much because we've got Origin first.
Yeah.
And Origin had the ability to establish shit for us that we went into this knowing, because otherwise, without having watched Origin first, I think there was been lingering questions of why that we don't have.
Yeah, but when you're bringing Origins, again, it reminds me of that whole Clone Wars has a situation where Clone Wars works, but in many ways, Clone Wars works because it's 7 seasons of trying to explain stuff that was never told us in the movies.
Well, again, it's a
prequels.
choice.
Yeah.
I don't mean by choice by the creators. I mean it's a choice by us, the watchers. We're watching in chronological order specifically for reasons like this. So if we were watching Star Wars and we watched Clone Wars before we watched the movies, then what? We wouldn't. We wouldn't because I don't think that's the way that chronologically works. But it's a choice to do it that way, and we made that choice here, and I think that works. Because otherwise, again, we would spend our time on Side 7 for like 2 episodes, finding out about Mirai's dad and why she isn't there with Cameron, for example, or learning more about Frost's family, so that when Frost's family explodes in a crater, we're more emotionally impacted by it, rather than taking the just sudden fucking thing that happened and having to deal with it in the moment, which is also a choice. I'm not saying it's a bad choice, and it worked.
I mean, no, okay. I think it could be much simpler than that. You can, for example, say that instead of going directly to Earth, or even going directly to Luna 2, they go first to Side 6 because they have civilians, right? And if Side 6 is neutral,
yeah,
you could drop the civilians in.
Why would you, a military ship, go to Side 6 first? Also, you're being chased? Well, I don't know. We don't know.
I mean, you're being chased here as well. That's why I
think Side 6 is closer to Munzo than Side 7 is.
Yeah.
So I think actually trying to get to a Earth Federation base is probably better off already.
At some point, like when they're talking in the beach, where Sayla and Mirai are sunning themselves in the beach when they're on Earth, Mirai could have pointed out, yeah, no, I was going to go to Side 6, but shit happened. And Sayla's like, why you want to go to Side 6? Oh, because I know somebody.
God, no, please, not more of that. No.
Yeah.
We don't need more exposition on the beach. Already get enough of that in normal anime. Also, you said instead of going to Luna 2, I'm like, wait a second, Luna 2 is like literally right next door, and a base. That's like, why wouldn't we have gone to Luna 2?
I'm not saying that you wouldn't immediately, but
I think the thing I'm talking about when I say spend more time on Side 7 to do this is literally the start of the Battlestar Galactica reboot. We spend enough time with everybody learning how their normal day-to-day life is. Not too much time, just enough to know what it's like on like a glance, and then we ruin everyone's lives. So, in a 24-minute span of this versus the hour they had in Battlestar Galactica, 2 episodes. 2 episodes to learn what their lives are like and then fucking ruin it.
But I think it still would have been something that could have been also spaced out as well. Like a mention here, oh yeah, I know somebody inside 6. It's like, who do you know? Oh, I don't want to talk about it. And like a couple episodes later, it's like when Mirai's down or talking to Bright's like things could have been different, right? From my life.
I think the problem there is that the focus of the early
Amuro, yeah.
Well, no, not even Amuro, but the horrors of war, like PTSD and whatnot. Well, obviously, we're shown that through Amuro, but I feel like that is the main impetus of the early episodes.
Yeah.
And there's only so much backstory fill-in you can do there and have it not take away. Because the problem with the early episodes, it's combat and then how that affects a young character, right? When you start trying to throw information on top of that too, you're going to not pay as much attention to the psychological effects, and you'll be trying to input this information into your brain and make it make sense.
I mean, it can be folded in. It can be part of the PTSD because he's not the only one suffering. So it's like other people are suffering. And Mirai is like, I could have had another life, but here I am stuck in this ship, right? That kind of thing, right? So when eventually you get to this part, she's like, listen, I've been through too much, right? And it kind of has a little more weight to it. Well, we know because we've been with the character, of course. But that's sort of a few more lines, like here and there. I mean, we're talking about 30 episodes plus episodes. So it doesn't have to be like half an hour and I'm talking like, I know this guy and then my dad set me up with him, but I'm not also sure he was going to marry him, but I had no choice. I don't need any of that. It's simply a matter of, listen, her takeaway from her situation is she could have had another life, but it's here, right?
And there could also be that element of not taking a break, right? not taking a break, don't have time to talk about this or think about this. So it comes up when it comes up.
But the ship has spent many times just being idle in many places, so.
Yeah, fair. I mean, I got no argument, because obviously the beach episodes happened between here and there.
Yeah.
And there's been plenty of times where things have come up in the manner of we haven't had time to think about it, even though we've been shown. I'm not arguing that the show has the best pacing, because it doesn't. But it's a product of its era. Also, it's a product of, this is the first time we're trying out the real robot genre in a hardcore mode.
Yeah.
But I guess I just don't have that much of a problem with it, is my statement.
Yeah.
I mean,
it could have been handled better.
Well, I've said that plenty of times where something has happened and we've been like, well, if we just added like a line here instead of the stupid shit that they put down on paper, this would have played out better. I mean, I think we've said that both plenty of times during stuff. It's just, I don't know. There's not a lot of Mirai-centric content here, and Mirai as a character, even though we've seen her backstory and origin, which is not to say her backstory. We've seen her walking with her dad and then flying with her dad. There's just not a lot there. So I feel like when you do a Mirai thing, you have to make it Mirai-centric from the get-go, and this is like everything Mirai in one episode.
Yeah. Anyway, next note. 10 Ray's fate was crueler than death in many ways. Although where did Amuro come up with the idea that his father suffered from oxygen deprivation is not known. He didn't see his father being blown out to space and had no reason to believe anyone survived the battle size 7 outside those that boarded the white base.
He might have.
So he might have what?
Seen his dad get blown out into space. He just might have assumed that he died and not, like, survived the explosion. Because we see, from the viewer's perspective, which isn't far, the camera for the viewer's perspective isn't far from where Amuro is. Because, Amuro was there looking in that direction, too.
Yeah, he doesn't react to it or anything like that, so...
Well, he might have just thought his dad was dead. For all we know, Amuro was like, oh, thank God. We don't know how hard that relationship goes, and then being absent from him for so long and then seeing how his mom reacted, he might have been, like, cherishing what time he had with his dad, regardless of how bad his dad was, or not that bad, but not present. So that when he saw him again, even if he was, like, happy to be away from him, he could have been like, oh, God, there's something of my life, right? Something of the past that I thought was gone from me forever. My childhood in the human form. And now he's this way. And obviously, Tem is stupid now. I think that's what's being indicated to us. And you don't go from genius of the Federation to I'm putting my shits together into human form to look like a Gundam. Obviously it's not what's being said, but I think when you're like that technical of a genius, and like Amuro, the wizard with engineering, who believes his dad's a genius too, is like, this guy's doing shit that I think is dumb. Like, I recognize that it's like a VCR.
Also, another aspect of it is like the first time we see Amuro, we see him with Bright and the Tem Amuro. And the first thing Tem says, because Bright looks at the picture of him and Amuro, and Tem says, we're building the Gundam so that children like Amuro don't have to fight. And then one of the things that Tem says to Amuro, when Amuro's like, Dad, what's going on? It's like, well, you're a soldier now. You're piloting the Gundam. Like completely 180. Like, oh.
You bring that up. The question in my mind now is, how does Tem fucking know that?
I mean, yeah, that's also a good question.
Yeah, it's like, is he keeping up with his son but not doing anything? Because otherwise, he knows that Amuro got into the mobile suit back at Site 7. Well, he's wearing an outfit. Never mind. He's wearing a uniform. I guess if he thinks everybody in a uniform is part of the military. But he thinks that Amuro still has the Gundam, which would assume something too. I don't know. When I rewatch, maybe I'm going to check the background of his room. Maybe it's one of those proud dad moments, even though he's kind of sorry, I was thinking of the word that we no longer use. Even if he's that way, maybe he has like files or something up on the walls.
Yeah.
Maybe he is keeping track of Amuro, but he's still as distant as he ever was.
Yeah, but the focus seems to change. Like, I want to protect my son, or people like my son too. Yay, my son is fighting in the machine I built for him. Here, have a thing that'll make you stronger, right?
It might be
Like,
that. It might literally be that.
yeah.
You know, he's gone from I need to protect everybody, not just my son, but like everybody with this new creation I've made, and he said everyone out to literally, yay, cool action fight. You know, because if it is what we're being just shown that it is, could be cool, flashy lights, like to watch. I mean, that is sad. It's not well shown here in the show if that's actually what happened, because there. It's like, I guess it's like, what if Einstein went dumb, right? And dumb Einstein turns out to be as smart as the rest of us. So just a normal guy walking around. I'd like to buy 3 bananas, please. Oh, you poor bastard! You know, it's like, come on, I'm just living my life.
It's like, I was just saying, writing a letter. Oh, we shouldn't use the nuclear weapons because it'll start World War III. And then something happened. He sees a marshal cloud, goes like, "Yeah, marshal cloud!"
Yeah.
You like, what?
Well, I just mean that what Tem is displayed doing in the room to us means nothing. Obviously, Amuro's like, he's handing me like an antique. This clearly cannot be what he says it is. And it is like, okay, sure. But maybe he's desperate. Like, why does that mean that he has gone, None of that means is what you said it means. Obviously, you're in the world, so I kind of have to believe your perspective. I know it's weird that I'm going to take Amuro's perspective on his dad, but not Sayla's perspective on a guy who jumps out with a jetpack. But I don't know. This is a different thing.
I mean, if anybody knew him in the last few years, was him, even though he was often off of work, doing nothing, right?
Well, how did he get here, I guess, would be the thing.
Yeah, again, that's somebody had to rescue him. I mean, it's what happened to
this
to Kai. Not Kai, to
Kira.
Not Kira. What's his name?
Oh, you mean Ryu. Sorry, I'm jumping into Kira
Ryu
from Gundam Seed because literally that's the episode I think that's on YouTube right now today. Is the Kira in the massive nuclear explosion and then wakes up on a plant colony.
Yeah.
Or one of the plants, rather. It's like, how did you survive? And then, how did you wind up in space? Like,
and with a new girlfriend, too.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I was like, Tem didn't have a new girlfriend? Like,
no. Kira did. He ended up in space, in a mansion, alive, and a new girlfriend.
Well, stole his best friend's girlfriend, or I guess his childhood friend's fiance.
Yeah.
Which I guess, again, it's the Mirai. It's like, there's just Mirai in this one. It's like, what? But no, yeah, it's 1-for-1. It's just Kira and Tem in this. It's what I said early on, that they took all the characters from Mobile Suit Gundam, wrote down like 3 narrative traits that they had, ripped them into pieces, and then put them into a hat, and then, I need something for Kira. Wakes up in a different place. Well, that's from Tem. Sleeps with girlfriend's character. I guess that's gonna be Slegger. I don't know who's gonna. I guess Bright maybe. I guess that 3-way fight, and Cameron didn't seem to be a fighter. Even though Slegger did, called it right before it happened.
Okay, more notes. I'm not done yet because I only have 6 notes. Note number 4: had the Admiral waited until White Base had entered the space dock, he would have destroyed both. But instead, the idiot fired too soon. I mean, he just started blasting. It's like, oh, it's a trap. And like, oh, my dock. If he just waited for the White Base to dock, he would have been trapped there. He fires on the dock, blows it up, and destroys the White Star with it.
White Star?
White Base with the White Star.
Battlestar Galactica. Not Battlestar. Babylon 5.
Babylon 5, yeah.
I don't think so.
Because it couldn't go anywhere.
I don't think so. Course. Well, one, plot armor, as we've already discussed. The dock would have blown up around them, but also the fact that when they're shooting at the dock, they're shooting at weird, odd angles. Like, even though they were trying to shoot through the dock at White Base, they were, like, all over the place. So I can just imagine, the White Base is like, oh, no, they're firing on the dock, and you see all these lasers going all over the place. And just backing out just fine. Yeah.
Yeah. It also would have been more exciting too. Like, oh, we're doing repairs. All of a sudden, beams start going up. It's like, what the?
There's just the negative quality of shows like this when you're supporting the bad guys. I prefer the Marines in One Piece, and something I hate hearing all the time is, "Oh God, these fucking Marines are such horrible shots." Because of course they're on boats, right? So when your main crew is on one boat, and the Marines obviously can't shoot them with their cannons, so it's always just pew 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 all around the ship. Oh, fucking horrible shots these Marines are. Of course they're horrible shots. They can't hit the ship. If they hit the ship will sink, and everyone will be dead. The show will be over. So, same thing with Zeon here. They obviously can't hit the white base because they've indicated already that if we do hit it, it takes damage. Mm-hmm. So, instead of just, hitting it, we'll miss all the time.
My next note. Cameron showed courage in escorting white base back to Site 6, even if he didn't. If he did it only to protect Mirai. Like,
did he though?
Yeah, he's not much of a fighter, but he's like, no, let's go and escort them. It's like he could like, this ship doesn't have any guns. I don't care, because the only thing he had to protect them was Site 6 neutrality and the fact that Charles ordered them not to keep firing. Otherwise, he could get killed, right? He couldn't protect the ship physically.
Did you ever watch? Oh God, I can't remember. I just saw it recently though. The one where the aliens come down in Australia and they get like a little territory for them to live next to the city, but then they want to forcibly remove them from it.
Is that Australia or is it South Africa?
South Africa. Sorry, I'm getting my names of places wrong.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
something 6, something 9, something.
Yeah, District 9.
District 9. You remember the main character in the very beginning where he's like feels like he has the authority of law on his side, and he goes out there and he like the military guys around him start shoving him around, and then the aliens start messing with him. That's what I feel like with Cameron here. I don't feel like that's bravery. I feel like he just feels invincible due to the laws and regulations around him. He does not believe that anybody would break the rules. So he feels like, if I'm here, then you can't do anything.
I mean, already Sion broke the rules by attacking the dock.
Right? Well, no, the dock was outside of the neutrality zone.
Yeah, but it's still not a military target. Well,
that doesn't matter. White base. Yeah, well, it was also about to repair the white base. That's why they literally call him a war profiteer. But it was outside the neutrality zone, because if it was in the neutrality zone, he wouldn't have been able to do the repairs because, Site 6 wouldn't have let them. Yeah. So it wasn't. They didn't break any rules there. Again, he just feels. I don't know what the word I'm looking for here is. Bolstered. He ignorance is what I'm going for here, because he's ignorant that anyone could break the laws. Because what happens if they break the laws, right? He gets shot, his ship explodes, he dies, Zeon gets fined, and boom.
That's it.
Well, that's the end of your life, but for Zeon, it was nothing. So he feels impervious due to a system built up around him that does not actually protect him if something happens. Yeah. So I don't think that's bravery. If you're ignorant of the danger, that's not bravery. I feel like he was ignorant of the danger. I could be proven wrong. That's the sense I got from it.
And I'm not saying my final note because it's.
Turns out you wrote out notes about 34 as well. You just watched the whole season for some reason.
That's it. So I'm done with the notes.
All right. Well, I mean, I got nothing because literally I just watched that episode, so I don't have my notes yet.
Yep.
Other than the fact that, again, I stated that I've seen bits of this episode, I think, because it looks like what's on the next time on, when I was flicking through probably Toonami, back when this was originally on Toonami back in the day. So it's been a long time, and I think maybe a 4 to 5 minute scene of this, which I've already prefaced, I thought was really boring, and I turned the channel. So if there was an episode that I felt like somebody got high and wrote part of an anime, it was this episode. So keep that in mind going into this. I might get my mind changed because I did not have the background of everything, because I haven't seen anything else of Mobile Suit Gundam before I saw this.
I know. Okay, I will. Now that you mentioned that, I will hold my final note until this episode is over.
Well, yeah, I'd hope so. It's a spoiler.
Kind of.
Because all I've said is I've seen like a 4 or 5 minute segment. I didn't say which 4 or 5 minute segment. Hate for you to think, oh, I can say shit, and you can say it. It's like, oh, I don't know what that fucking happened. Well, anyway, I think that's everything. All right, let's go ahead and hop on into it.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this,
unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
What shows from the 1 Year War have you not seen?
I don't know. I watch Igloo, the Hall of Igloo. I'd watch MS Team, 8 MS Team. War in the Pocket, I started watching. I didn't finish that.
Again, War in the Pocket is not 1 Year War.
It's not 1 Year War?
I'm pretty sure that's in the 80. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me pull up. While this is going, keep naming things, I'll pull something up.
And that's it. Well, I'm trying to recall another show that I know it's in UC, but it's not 79, not 1 Year War. But I don't recall. It's like the images are in my head, but I don't know.
War in the Pocket is 1 Year War. Sorry, it's 0080 War in the Pocket. I think that's what threw me off. But I have it listed as being in 0079.
Yeah,
I think I was thinking of Stardust Memory, which is like
Stardust
4 years later.
Yeah, I think I watch a little bit.
So have you seen Requiem for Vengeance?
No,
I would hope not, because that would be a dumb thing for you to do.
No, it just came out.
Doan's Island. Did you watch that movie?
No.
Thunderbolt.
I think I watched a little bit of Thunderbolt, but
it's only 8 episodes.
Know. Yeah.
You said you have seen Igloo?
Yes, I've seen the whole of Igloo. It's 2 parts. It's
all right. We've both seen 8 MS Team.
Yeah.
Well, I got Igloo down as 9 episodes. I was just considering what the next thing we do after this was. Obviously, movies and then Island. But then, I mean, series. And obviously, the series to go for would be the one that you haven't seen and I haven't seen.
So a lot of stuff is side stories.
Doesn't matter to me.
No,
just like,
I mean,
just
cool.
like Macross, we're getting through everything.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, Zeon could dock here too, and then wait for you to leave, and then follow you out.
Mm-hmm. But you would think those things were programmed, right? The rain and everything else.
Well, that's why I said a schedule.
Yeah. That's a very angular house. Very Sim City house. Sims 4 house.
I don't know, what is it, Dutch?
Dutch?
Yeah. Reminds me of a old style Dutch hat, actually. Lilu. Forgot her fucking name.
Lala.
It's a series of double L sounds. So I guess technically she went from the moon to Side 6. That's right, I just killed a bird with my mind. If I was smart enough, I would have continued that joke with a Dune reference.
別に脅かすつもりじゃなかった。あの鳥のこと好きだったのかい？
美しいものが嫌いな人がいて、美しいものが嫌いな人がいて。
Anybody in the movie Fight Club?
嫌いな人がいて。
Want to destroy something beautiful.
美しいものが嫌いな人がいるのかしら。それが年老いて死んでいくのを見るのは悲しいことじゃなくて。
そりゃそうです。
Oh, reminds me of an argument you've made before.
やんだわ。
Why do anything? We all grow old and die.
そう。
I can't tell if this like got remastered at some point or like they drew everything with Vaseline.
I think, yeah, they did the Gaussian lensing.
I appreciate that they also had one of the Banshee in the background, indicating that despite being a side, it is a series of side Banshee.
Yeah.
何があるのです、サイド6に。
実戦に出るのも間近い。そうしたらわかる。港に入るぞ。
I don't know how it'll enter the war, unless it has, you know, units of its own. I mean, if it's the orb counterpart, then it would.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, were you raising it with your force powers? What was that?
He was leaning on the glass, yeah. The guy's to be face, like, ooh.
Well, just about everybody in the shot has different versions of eyes.
Yeah.
Technically, it's got another version of meeting Ramba at the bar. Technically, you can't fight them here.
Yeah.
Yeah, a fine.
出港まで時間がない。外出を禁止する。ホワイトベースの整備でやることが山ほどあるはずだ。全員直ちに部署に着くんだ。そう。くれぐれも滞在日数に変更はありませんように。
分かっている。
武器の封印は
承知しているつもりだ。
では、連邦軍とのいざこざも起こさぬように。
兵には言ってある。ご苦労。
You've said that, but you've also parked just next to each other. Oh, we're back to Tim's house.
Yeah, head of a Saku. How did that get there? I have no idea.
It's probably floating in space. Could have been when they rescued Tim.
ゆうべ渡した部品はどうだった？ほら、お前に渡した新型のメカだ。あれは絶大な効果があっただろう？アムロ。
そりゃもう。
そうか、うまくいったか。よし、やるぞやるぞ。じっくり新開発に打ち込むぞ。
父さん。
そうか、うまくいったか。そうさ、私が作ったものだからな。だからこれからが腕の。
Yeah.
Overstimulated. Time to sleep.
父さん。
Running on caffeine and dreams of giant robots.
I mean, it'd be easier to have a problem with it if Tem was like a great guy before.
Yeah.
So it's like just seeing like a mediocre guy turn into a different version of a mediocre guy.
I mean, still your dad, though.
My dad. Maybe I'd feel something if it was my dad. Like I said, for us, it's just a guy.
Yeah. Why is there dirt roads in a Banchai, though? Doesn't make any sense.
Because they're making it like Earth equivalent. I mean, the whole fucking thing could be a giant city if they wanted it to be. They had to add the dirt and the water and everything. Hit him again! Oh, you're within kicking range.
Yeah. They sound like they have the same. What's the name of the voice actress? Well, not the the character that Amuro fell in love with first, Matilda. Like they have the same voice. Could be. I could be wrong.
Yeah, our outfits are legitimately obvious.
Yeah. The thing he told him his name, I don't know why he just gave him a false name, right? Yeah.
Kimi wa toshi wa ikuts da?
16歳です。
そうか、若いな。目の前に敵の兵士を置いて硬くなるのはわかるが、せめて礼ぐらいは言ってほしいものだな、アムロ君。
いえ、ありがとうございました。じゃあこれで僕は。
I mean, you were less nervous around Ramba than this.
どうしたんだ、あの少年。
大佐の名前を知ってるからでしょ。赤い彗星のシャーって怯えていたんですよ、きっと。
Would have been nice if he hung around and talked for a bit, though.
I don't know the whole. Why would they talk? I mean, like, oh yeah, I'm the red comet, you know. Oh, that's so cute.
そう、ガンダムを前面に押し出してでも。失礼します。ああ、お待ちしてました。どんなご用で？実は個人的に皆さんのお力になれればと。
カムラ。
どういうこと？
See, my fiance chewed me out last episode, and I kind of feel pressure to do something.
サイド6の船が盾になっていれば、ジオンとて攻撃はできません。それはありがたいが。
カムラ、どういうつもりでそんなことを？
君にそういう言われ方をされるのは心外だ。
Sayla doesn't agree.
She always mad mugging in the background.
Yeah.
船を降りないというなら、せめて僕の行為を。
それが余計なことでなくて何なの？
そういう言い方は侮辱じゃないか。
Yeah, legitimately, I never understand these in these shows where you insult the guy for not doing anything. If he tries to do something, you insult him for trying to get something out of it, and it's like, what do you want? Just tell me what you fucking want. Wow.
Oh, wow.
君、この人は本気なんだよ。わかる？そうでもなきゃこんな無茶は言えるか。
Add it to your slap counter.
ここは中立のサイドだからと言ったところで。
Yeah.
ミサイル一発飛んでくりゃ命はないんだ。わかる？あんたもあんただ。あんなにグダグダ言われてなぜ黙ってる？殴らなくたって話せば。本気なら殴れるはずだ。
No.
そうだよ。
I mean, there's a little bit of Do you remember Love style of Roy Fokker there?
お気持ちが変わらなければお願いできませんか。はい。
Like, the words he's saying are right. The implication you have to slap someone to get them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's Roy at all.
No.
I believed that Roy was a ladies' man.
Mm.
Slager is Roy's desire to be a ladies' man without any of the ability.
That's true.
Interesting mustache you've got there.
Blue on blue.
Oh no, I meant very specifically where it ends. Specifically from here to here.
I think it's longer. Is it? Yeah.
When he turns to face the camera, it seems short. Yep,
Yeah.
see?
Yeah.
Very
it's really
specifically.
short. Yeah.
It's a style, all right.
Mm-hmm. Also, it's weird because the rig dumps are like this. They're like in space, like.
Yeah, I guess
Which is fine because
they could lock up, right?
Yeah.
手当て弾んでもらいますぜ。分かってる。
He just seemed like he had the shits. Like, oh my god, my pants.
Well, I mean, we saw plenty of fighter jets got kneed in the cockpit and destroyed.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Also, they only get fined if they attack you. They've got hands, grab you, move you out of the way.
I think that would be considered an attack.
No, I don't think it's the same as people. Like, putting hands on a person could be considered assault, but this is like moving an object. At best, they could fine you for scraping the paint job.
お気持ちは十分にいただくわ。でもありがとうカムラ。帰ってください。お父様お母様によろしく。
未来しっかりします。あ。
Yeah, whether you give me the order or not, I'm gonna.
ハッチ開け。ガンダム発進。急げ。ガンキャノン G ファイターそのまま。
Middle finger.
I think she was meant to wave, but it kind of looked like she gave him the finger. Like
That's what I said.
Fuck you. Yeah.
I gotta assume she was like that or something.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't
but
know
it
what
looks
else.
like
What other one finger? Too long to be a thumb.
Yeah.
I don't know what the expected operation here is.
Outside of destroying the white base, I don't know.
Well, no, I just mean that this is exactly as many forces as he attacked with last time.
Yeah.
Now, is it a TV crew because they're specifically broadcasting TV signals, or is it a TV crew because the ship's name is TV?
Yeah. How can it be impossible? He just killed everybody around you.
Well, no, the impossible for me is the fact he took 2 shots to the cockpit and that guy still was there. Learned this one from the TriStars. Same effect that TriStars had. Oh, there was 3 of them too.
見える動きが見える
I mean, they're not being. It's like Space Invader shit.
Yeah.
They're not being coy about it.
ホワイトベースはいい。ガンダムを映せ、ガンダムの戦いぶりを。そうだそう。いや、アムロめ何をやっておるか。
Well, we made the joke, and now he's doing it.
注意出てきました
Yeah.
よし、わかってる。見てろよ。
There's probably a Space Invader cabinet that's literally the white base in this scenario.
Probably.
クラナガンは優しくしてくれたか。
はい
よく見ておくのだな。実践というのはドラマのように格好の良いものでは。
What did he just say about Flanagan?
Is Flanagan treating you well?
Flanagan's dead.
What?
Flanagan
Someone
Boone,
else.
remember? He died a long
Yeah.
time, not a long time ago, maybe like 10 episodes ago.
There's another Flanagan?
God, I hate that if that's true. I already got 2 Tachis, I don't need another Flanagan.
うわ待てようわ
He should not have blown up. We've seen that these things can lose their heads and not explode.
Yeah.
何があったんだ。今日のアムロは勘が冴えている。
It's almost like we're trying to introduce a new mechanic to the show.
接近戦しかない
As it turns out, the Gundam never had a learning computer. It was all Amuro.
話にならん。
It really is.
こんなに手こずってシャアが見てるんだぞシャアが特攻せよこのチビを木馬のどてっぱらにぶつけ
I at least appreciate that much about some of these Zeon officers.
Yeah.
They're dedicated to the cause.
白いモビルスーツが勝つわ
ガンダムは映っていない。
Oh, is she doing it?
わかるわそのため
Is he that much more effective because of her?
拾ってくださったんでしょ
Oh, she's
You
upset
don't
in battle.
remember?
I don't think so.
Remember Origin before you start telling me how I'm wrong. Remember how she directed Char in a fight,
映
Yeah.
ってる証拠だどこが真実
and
だ
Bright specifically pointing out he's so much better right now than he normally is.
下から何
Oh, no,
Can't
need
he
that
release it?
anymore.
いや下げん
Yeah.
Time to get Drend. Hope didn't aim high enough.
ね
Guess it was perfect.
そうだそれでいいのだアムロ
You're not even looking at the TV.
あの新しい
Yeah.
メカのおかげだ
His right hand's right here. The TV's right here. He's like,
Yeah, he's like
"Yeah!"
this. He's like,
He's looking at the spot between the TV and the wall.
yeah.
地球連邦万歳だ帰ってくれいいよ
Let's go see the princess, Mario.
He's in another castle. Or another Bonchai.
生き延びてくれよ
Way to go, Amuro. Went on a combat that was literally nothing to you.
サイド6
Sorry, is the Earth super radiated? What's going on there?
I mean, I guess they're in the shadow of Earth, and what they see is the, the sunlight coming from the sides.
宇宙要塞ソロモンに地球連邦軍の総攻撃がかけられたディアンム艦隊の先方たるホワイトベースが結露を開く
Ah,
アムロたちは
the super Bucky
戦
balls
場の真っ
that made their
只中に身を
appearance.
さらす機動戦士ガンダム次回ソロモン攻略戦君は生き延びることができるか
It's a real waste. They should have introduced the golden mobile armor here. Solomon base, the glory of Solomon, a bunch of gold shit flying around.
Yeah,
Would have
yeah.
been real on theme.
Yeah.
I don't think this is the episode that I saw a bit of. I saw a bit where I'm pretty sure it was a longer conversation between Lala and Amuro, but it looked like at a cabin like that, though. So either it's later or I'm just misremembering this. Don't tell me, by the way. I'm just telling you out loud what I'm thinking in the moment. Because I'm pretty sure it was like a longer thing here, and I thought Char was there too. But then again, maybe I'm just remembering the walking up to in the rain and then the other thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, it was a long time ago, and I thought it was boring, so it didn't occupy a lot of my brain.
True.
Well, I haven't seen anything else from Gundam other than Gundam Wing, which isn't even associated with this. So
yeah, no.
Out of context, that looked really boring compared to everything else. Especially every other anime I was watching at the time, which was like Dragon Ball Z. I think maybe Detective Conan.
So yeah, my final note. Things are going to get much, much weirder from this point on. We start seeing a little bit of the weirdness. It's gonna get pretty weird.
So your final note wasn't even about this episode.
It was because there's some. If you go when you go back and watch the episode,
I know what you're alluding to, but your final note is after this episode, things are gonna get so much weirder. So your final note wasn't about this episode; it's about the future. So,
but it was triggered by this episode because that's what I thought when I we watched this episode. Like, yes, this is where things get off real weird.
The hilarity for me is one, this is notes taken about an episode you weren't supposed to have watched yet. And then your last note about the episode that you watched ahead of time was about the future after the episode. So you're like 1 foot over the starting line and then reaching farther. I mean, like you said, we already indicated to Esper shit way back when with Matilda, which is already a weird thing, but we're never going to call it that again as far as I know. So, but we were already introduced to this concept back in Origin. It's the Gundam learning computer shit that we haven't talked about in forever. I guess technically Tem could have been talking about that.
Yeah.
Which I guess in its way makes it a super interesting thing. In that we bring Tem back, obviously, with his own new problem, but if we don't regard that at all, and take it just visually as a visual narrative, hey, here's something about the Gundam learning computer. And Amuro was like, no, pa, I threw it on the ground. Not a part of the system, man. Anyway, and that's Amuro visually rejecting the Gundam learning computer aspect. And then we see the whole, he's doing so much better now. Whatever the voice sound thing is for that. Yeah, and we get Lala, who is now, my eyes are beautiful, aren't they? You know, whatever. the alluring thing, as Amuro visually rejects the old thing. So, outside of the meta-narrative of what happened to Tem, who is this girl who we've never met before unless you watch something from the far future. Outside of those narrative elements, it is literally a visual rejection of the technology we've introduced as why Amuro is so cool in the Gundam.
Yeah.
And an introduction, or leaning into, rather, of the new reason why Amuro will be so cool in the Gundam. Because I'm just going to assume that the learning computer thing is done. We're done with that. Well, I mean, in the past, Amuro's like, I've been studying the combats up until now, and I've reworked the system so it can anticipate how the thing is.
Yeah.
And now it's going to be, you know?
Gonna be the thing.
Oh, we don't have to spend so much time explaining, Amuro's staring at a screen, like, I've been studying Zaku techniques, and now I think I've got 25% more efficiency against Zaku 2s. Now it's just a thing is going to happen, and it's going to happen.
It's the Spider-Man tingle. You got the tingle? Yeah, I got the tingle. Show me the tingle. It's like, I can't show it to you.
Show me on the mobile suit where you tingle. Yeah, no, I'm just saying, it works, I think it works pretty well as a visual metaphor. Outside of everything. It's like you've written... You know how, like, you ever watch Epic Rap Battles of History?
Yes, I think I watched Washington versus, I don't know, King George. I think the one that I watched.
Oh well, there's a lot of them. Anyway, on the better ones, you can listen to a lyric, and there's the obvious play of words happening, which is like the insult, and then there's the thing that happened in history deep dive on that lyric, and then there's typically there's the historical deep dive, but there's actually a play on words working with the historical deep dive that is its own third insult. There's typically 4 or 5 layers to every lyric of Epic Rap Battles of History. And I feel like that's what's happening here, is that we've written a narrative that works internally. These characters have this relationship. There's the mystery of what happened to Tem, or what's going on here. There's who is this girl, but there's also the meta-narrative layer. We've animated it to tell a different story in a meta that actually works out pretty well, too. And I'm sure there's probably other shit like that that's going on as well. I just appreciate this one aspect of we're moving past technology, and by doing that, we've oxygen-starved the technology guy. Sorry, there's other words that came into my head, but we don't live in that era anymore. Child of the 80s, as I am.
Yeah.
My dad has yelled things at me that I will never repeat again to other people.
So, I feel it. I feel it.
Yeah.
Feel it in my bones, yeah.
So yeah, I really appreciate that as an aspect of at least this episode, if not the last. It's probably an aspect of the last 2 episodes. Because, he actively rejects the thing that his dad gave him last episode. And then this episode gets commented on. He's acting a lot better than he normally is. And I feel like, even though you're rejecting it, that Lala has something to do with that. Only because of Origin. Remember Origin? Char gets into a fight with...
fight, and she was basically sending him messages like, duck here. And he's like, oh, I see something.
Yeah, and then she's actively watching Amuro on the television. And that's when Amuro starts getting these flashes. The same way that Char did during that fight. I know you're going to make the argument that Char and Amuro both are. I'm not using the words until they use it. That they both are, but both of them could have been led by Lala in these moments. By which I meant back then with Char and here with Amuro.
So, like I said, also, you said basically that Cameron was acting out because he was too ignorant of the real danger.
I said that's what it felt like to me.
Yeah. I still feel that, while that may be true, he still took a risk, especially when he took his own.
There's a difference between when he first appears last episode and what he does this episode. Yeah. Because even if he was ignorant before, the danger has actually been spelled out pretty hard right here. So what happens here is different from his first appearance.
Yeah.
And I think if you're taking Cameron as the character who has to be educated about the dangers of the world around him, then the ignorance does play better from the first appearance to then learn and then put himself at risk for what he cares about after the fact in this episode.
Yeah.
So it makes his actions more impactful. Not impactful, because obviously we don't give a shit. He's probably a one-and-done character for us. But
more meaningful.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for the characters in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, arguably there is no impact, because literally the moment Zeon shows up, you gotta get away, man.
You don't need to get killed. We killed enough characters already. Just get the hell out. Although in a typical narrative, he would get killed, right? To show, oh no, that's the past that she lost, and he died trying to save her, blah blah. And he's like, no, dude, get out of here. It's like, yeah, I'm getting out of here.
Well, I mean, to be fair, they could kill him. The ship had plot armor.
Yeah,
Mario was on board. He's a main character.
Oh, it's someone else's castle, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, it doesn't matter. What does this side look like of giant floating pipes in space?
Yeah, that's true.
Slows down one, boop, 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 boop. Whatever the noise is, that wasn't it. I got that one wrong off the top of my head. No, I meant the sound of the Mario going down a pipe. Yeah, that was wrong too. I don't think either of us got it off first try.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. I don't know. Not much else here. Other than the reintroduction of Lala.
Yeah, and episode 33, and there's 40 episodes? No, not even 40 episodes. 42 episodes?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 episodes left.
So yeah, just like in Frontier, we're speeding to the end.
Are we?
I mean, we have the Battle of Solomon.
The Glory of Solomon?
Yeah, the Glory of Solomon.
I mean, we're not really rushing to the end. I mean, we're doing 2 a week like we normally do. And that's why I mean,
the narrative itself is rushing to the end, not us. We're just doing the pace that we're doing.
Oh, don't start this argument again. It's going to be stakes all after this.
Plant them on the ground.
Again, you can't make
them.
You can't make that declaration, though, that we're rushing to the end, because we're not rushing to the end. This is like, as far as we know, this is another Odessa. It's you implying that we're rushing to the end that would make me think we're rushing to the end, because I know you know. For me, this could be another, Amuro in the bottom corner of the screen. The entire fight plays out in a minute, and then we're doing whatever we're doing. So.
Then a nuke goes up for some reason. Like, oh, we just got nukes. Like, what the? Okay, fine. We're doing nuking things. Well, but the thing with the battle over this was like there were spies, there was nukes, there was the battle itself. There was like
people shooting. There was one nuke and it didn't do anything.
Yeah, well, thank God. Otherwise, our main characters would have been dead. And
there was also 2 spies, and they didn't do anything.
Well, they shot. Well, they attempted to shoot some people. They got shot. One got arrested. The other got shot.
One guy got held outside of the door, and the other guy
got shot.
Made a horrible play. Oh yeah, I'm going to shoot the kid in my own room with guards just outside. This will play well.
Under my command,
But ultimately, they did nothing to the war effort. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, bunch of nothing. Well, I mean, technically, they won a battle that drove the Sion forces from a particularly important part of Earth, but still.
The spies?
No, not the spies.
I said the spies had nothing to do with the war effort.
Oh, no, yeah. No, it was too little too late.
Spies won nothing. No, Elrond was supposed to delay the war effort, and he did jack shit.
He actually, because McQueeve was counting on those forces not attacking where they were supposed to attack. And when they did, it was like, oh, shit, I got to go for the nuke because they really penetrated my defenses. I wasn't expecting that attack, right? But that was it. That's
Elrond's whole division was not supposed to be involved in the fight. And then they showed up because Elrond got arrested. That's what I'm saying. Elrond and what his name I can't remember all of a sudden had no effect on anything. Yeah, so I'm saying the entire Battle of Odessa was a lead-up, a bunch of shit that didn't matter.
Yeah. Which? Sorry. Sorry.
Well, I'm saying you said which, like you were about to start a sentence, and then ended it with sorry.
No, because
Yes, I know what a yawn looks like. I'm not so alien as to not recognize other normal human bodily functions.
Yeah, so there you go.
All right, well, I guess that's it for this episode. So, once again, I have been Theta, this has been Lessons, we've been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below, and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?